James Lewis was the Tylenol killer. With James Lewis in custody, the government had their man, but not for the crime everyone was talking about. They just couldn't physically tie him to the poisonings in Chicago, so prosecutors went after what they could prove, the extortion letter. In 1983, Lewis was tried for attempted extortion. His own lawyer admitted he wrote the letter but argued it was never about the money. It was a misguided stunt to point out security flaws and get back at his wife's old boss. The jury didn't buy it. Demanding $1 million to stop the killing is extortion, period. James Lewis was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in federal prison, ultimately serving nearly 12. But even as he was sentenced, investigators and the public felt this was only part of the story. The circumstantial evidence pointing to him as the Tylenol killer was deeply unsettling. First, there was the letter itself. According to investigators, it contained information that suggested the author knew things about the crime that hadn't been made public. Even more damning, years later, new technology allowed investigators to enhance the postmark on the letter. It was dated October 1st, 1982. Lewis had told people it took him 3 days to write the letter. If that was true, it meant he would have started writing it before the first news reports about the poisonings even aired, which suggested he knew about it because he was the one who did it. Then there was what investigators found when they searched his things. They turned up a book about poisons, and according to law enforcement documents, Lewis's fingerprints were on the pages that specifically talked about cyanide. It was a chilling discovery that linked him directly to the murder weapon. But maybe the strangest and most incriminating evidence came from Lewis himself. After his arrest, and even from prison, Lewis seemed to love playing a cat and mouse game with the FBI. He offered to help them solve the murders. He gave them stunningly detailed scenarios of how the killer could have pulled it off. He even drew detailed diagrams, including one showing a drilled board method for quickly filling capsules with poison. He calmly explained how anybody could have done it, walking authorities through a step-by-step guide. To investigators, this wasn't some amateur detective trying to help. This felt like a confession disguised as a hypothetical. He was showing them exactly how he did it, all while hiding behind a shield of plausible deniability. It was a display of breathtaking arrogance. Here was a man already convicted of trying to profit from the tragedy, now seemingly taunting the very people trying to solve it. For many in law enforcement, there was no doubt. James Lewis was the Tylenol killer. The only problem was they couldn't prove it.